What up, everybody? You know what time it is. It is now TA Thursdays, and I really want to tell you about some super crazy stuff, some super absolutely ridiculous developments that have come out on this FTX scandal. Sam Bankman-Fried, his family, political ties, all this wild stuff. And I'm going to touch on that for about 2 minutes before we jump into this actual TA Thursday. And stick around for the TA Thursday because you're going to want to see this new indicator that Lux Algo just rolled out. It's this new package. It's absolutely insane. John's going to walk us through it because obviously John's an absolute legend. If you haven't already, if you're watching this, make sure you smash a like button for me. We appreciate it. It helps tremendously get all this information out. And we're one of the channels that tries to bring real, actual relevant content. So if you could help us bring that relevant content to the people that are searching for it by hitting that like button, that would be appreciated. Obviously, subscribe, boom, bang on that notification bell, comment what you're thinking, what you're seeing, anything that you want to in the relevant comment sections. We appreciate it. Now, what I want to get into is this Sam Bankman-Fried thing. Dude, this thing is getting wilder and wilder. Fact is always stranger than fiction. And it seems like the media is like not really covering this stuff, right? And they may be in on it, whatever. We won't get into all this conspiracy theory stuff. You'll probably start going into your own conspiracy theory, rabbit hole as soon as I air out some of this stuff that's in this article that just came out by mainstream media, but they're not covering it in the depth and intricacies that you would think that they would be covering this. A lot of them are just kind of being like, nope, nothing to see here. So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and share my screen and show you guys everything that I'm talking about. And then we will get into everything else from here. So this is what I'm talking about right here. Sam Bankman-Fried. Okay. This guy right here, the dude that needs a haircut, right? The Afro extraordinaire, right? Never met a meeting that he showed up to looking good. Okay. So this guy, developments have come out about his family. His mom is a political power player. She leads like this secretive society, whatever thing that it's not like conspiracy-esque, but we'll show you what it is. His dad's a power player. His brother is absolutely a power player. And this is one of those conspiracy things that you're going to kind of jump to the conclusion on whenever you see what his brother did in the background right before COVID. Wild stuff, man. So first thing I want to do is I want to cover this dude's mom. Okay. And don't take that weird. Let's go. Let's get down to Sam Bankman-Fried's mom. This is his family. These three people, right? We've got Gabe Bankman-Fried. That is his brother. Okay. Joseph Bankman. That's where he gets his first name. Obviously, he's a power player. And then Barbara Fried. That is his mom. Okay. So they've actually contributed hundreds of thousands of dollars to Democratic candidates and are actively working with these Democratic candidates. Bankman-Fried himself, SBF, he actually contributed like millions of dollars to Biden's campaign, up to $30 million to Dems. And I covered this in my last video, but he actually pledged up to $1 billion to all of the Democrats in all of these elections, right? And if you go to Alameda's books, there was one line item that actually said Trump loses, and it had like his political donation to the Dems. So let's look at Barbara really quick. She leads a company called Mind the Gap. Okay. And it is this organization that basically funnels all of this money to Democratic campaigns, okay, according to Influence Watch, right? They basically have received all of this funding through well-known Silicon Valley startups, which we all know a lot of Silicon Valley startups kind of fund all the Democratic things, and they're the ones like the Googles of the world. They're the ones that are like running a lot of the SEO, Facebook, very, very well-known for censoring stuff like that. Now, she leads that organization. So everybody that was wondering, like, where did Sam Bankman-Fried get all of his money? And he never answered that question. This is how he got all of his money. Basically, his parents, right? And then if you go up here, his dad, Joseph, let's look up Joseph real quick. And I'm going to show you who Joseph is and what he does, right? Joseph is a Stanford University law professor and Bankman-Fried's brother's dad, okay? Now, he was actually involved heavily. And dude, seriously, I implore you to go and look at this article on Fox News that shows you how deep this dude's ties get into the political parties and the Democrats and stuff like that. Now, I'm not saying this to be all political. I'm just saying this because if you guys are wondering why Bankman-Fried had the influence that he had and why he had the money that he had and I guess ability to bring in, partnerships and talk to high level people. This is why. Now, let's go to Gabe, because Gabe, obviously we know he funneled a bunch of money into, all this stuff, all these, Democratic candidates and stuff like that. Now, this is the craziest part, okay? Gabe started this company called Guarding Against Pandemics back before COVID started. It was like right before COVID started, this dude started this business called Guarding Against Pandemics, okay? And they profited heavily from this through the pandemic of the coronavirus. So again, kind of bringing it back full force to where did this guy come from? Where did this guy get his money? How is he not in jail? Stuff like that. Go make your own inferences. We're going to jump into TA Thursdays with Lux Algo, and I want to show you a couple, and actually all of our trades, not a couple. We're going to show you all of our trades because that's how we get down. We are very transparent about this type of stuff. Now, this was literally yesterday, okay? If you guys saw the charts, you saw that morning dump, right? We took a bunch of different trades. I won't say a bunch. We took a couple of trades. Every single one of them was profitable. Some of these are legs in, right? These are take profit levels. As we've covered in our previous videos, we've told you like some of these are just take profit levels. So with that being said, make sure you get into this channel and check out what we're doing, and then check out the charting and analysis and stuff like that, and drop it in the comments section, dude. Let us know what everybody's thinking. Now, I'm not going to bore people too much more because I know that you guys showed up to hear about Bankman-Freed and some of his stuff, but go look into that. And then we're about to announce and show you, because this video is basically brought to you by Lux Algo, right? We're going to show you this new Lux Algo indicator package that has come out, and it's actually pretty gangster, to be honest with you. And what we're going to do is have John go ahead and jump into that ASAP so that we can make sure that this thing isn't too long. So with that being said, John, feel free, jump in, do your thing, and let's let everybody know the bullish sentiments around Lux Algo's new indicator package. And then also, we are trying to work out, I know I said this in the last one, but this is for the people that maybe weren't there. We are trying to work out the deal. They're only offering this deal one more time. I'm not saying that you buy it. I'm saying if you want to buy it, go ahead and buy it, whatever. And if I can work it out for you, I'll do it, because you already know that's how I get down, and I'm trying to forge good partnerships and bring real value to my people, not only in the media space, but also, well, for finance people, pre-sin people, all that good stuff, right? Now, they only do this once a year where they give a lifetime access to Lux Algo, which normally you can't get a lifetime access to. You have to pay monthly, yearly, whatever. And it's at a massive discount. This is the last time they're ever going to do this. And we might be one of the partners that helps them offer this out to everybody. So pay attention for that. It'll be coming in like a week or 2 weeks or something like that. It's like at the end of November. And so pay attention for that if you happen to give a F. So John, without further ado, go ahead and do your thing, man. You can start sharing the screen, and let's jump right into it.
Absolutely. Okay, let's share screen. So yeah, let's dive into Lux Algo's new indicator, premium indicator. This is a dream come true for traders like myself who are trading off of technical analysis and price action. So this is indicator that is unlike most indicators out there where you see MACD, RSI, all these things that are oscillators and lagging indicators. A lot of what you see here is going to be leading information. So this is based off of the bedrock, the best foundational TA style of trading, or price action trading, which price action trading doesn't necessarily need a whole lot of oscillators in the mix. You can trade price action on its own if you understand how to do these 4 things right here that I'm going to outline. This is going to be an extremely important lesson. Number 1, understanding market structure is the foundation. Number 2, understanding how volume works with market structure. Number 3 is where the oscillators come in, like Market Cipher B, which offers us confluence or confirmations of the trend or direction of that volume within the market structure. And number 4, of course, is always one of the most important, if not number 1, which is risk management. Facts. So getting on to the indicator itself. So what all this is showing us is it's going to show us a lot of things, actually. Let's just take it one by one. It's going to be a high level overview rather than a super detailed. We will do more detailed oriented videos in the future and kind of break each portion of it down.
Yep, you guys know how it goes. Build the foundation. Build the foundation.
Right. Yeah, this is just going to be the entry-level overview of it. So you see, as far as market structure goes, we'll cover that first. You can see these EQHs, the BOS, the chalks. These are breakup structures and change of characters. So these are telling you this price action broke this last higher high. And for example, the change of character is showing you now we have broken down from this upward structure. So market structure is now changing. aka a reversal. So this is what those are marking out. And again, you see here, as price action led to here, we then had to change the structure back from this low. So meaning we're breaking from this low, and so on and so on.
As you can see, 4-hour chart, correct? It's 4 hours.
Right. We're going to go through some other charts as well because I want to show you some cool things.
Yeah.
Next up is basically these order blocks. So this is going to be trading like what they call smart money concepts or institutional style trading. So you're not necessarily trading with the retail FOMO traders. You're trading with the big dogs. You're trying to trade with the trends and the pushes of big money. And this is telling you where these order blocks are sitting. So high levels of liquidity are sitting in these areas, and they actually give you these volume metrics. And if you spread it out a bit more, you can see it on different time frames. You'll be able to see a little bit more, but I'm zoomed out quite a bit to show you the overview of it for now. The next thing you'll see, actually, we'll go down a little bit, the trend lines.
Hey, can you explain to them what like that 144.308K and the percentages mean? Because I know a lot of people are probably going cross-eyed right now.
Right. So these are telling you the volume in this order block. So again, like I was saying, number one is market structure. Number two is volume. Knowing the volume and where all this liquidity sits is a game changer. A lot of the times people will pull these fixed volume ranges like I have here. And like we've shown in the previous videos, that was a manual way to do it. This way is kind of automating those ways to do it. So, you know, and it does it on different time frames and calculates it for you on different time frames. But it's showing you even more than that, because this is showing where big levels of liquidity, or not necessarily levels, but zones of liquidity are sitting at. And as you can tell, oftentimes they will line up with fib pools as well, which is something that's really cool. Like this discount zone down here, you can also see premium and discount zones. You can see accumulation and distribution zones. So all these are going to tell us where a lot of trades are going to be happening, or where you're going to be seeing the most action. So you want to use these in a manner of either breakouts or take profits, depending on which way you're going or which way you're coming from. So getting back to the chart patterns, as you can see, each time frame will give you a different chart pattern based on how many candles it's computing. And so here we see a symmetrical triangle, and we are just now breaking out of it at the very tail here, and we're getting stuck at this next order block where it's actually EQ, as well as it lines up perfectly with the 382 fib pool. So
math is cool.
It is very cool. It's crazy how it all works, but it's based on math and psychology all at the same time. And something cool to point out here is you will be able to see the market structure from 4 different time frames here. And you can go into settings and you can mess around with all those too, but these are the main 4 time frames here. And that's something that you can look at. Like, let's say if you're down playing an intraday trade on, say, the 24, 30, or even 1 hour, and you see that, okay, I want a long, but 3 of the other time frames are telling me, no, we're still having bearish. So here we're kind of split. So again, it's just something to keep your eye on without having to go back and forth between different time frames. So it gives you a kind of a magnifying glass type look.
Yeah, I actually love that because it's mad efficient. That's a lot of the bottleneck in this, is because whenever you're entering trades, guys, you're not just looking at one chart. You're not just looking at one time frame, right? Even though you might just be looking at one particular asset, you're not just looking at one time frame. A lot of strategies revolve around multiple time frames. So you could be looking at the 4-hour chart for an indicator and then go all the way down to the 24-minute to see if that lines up on the 24-minute, those same indicators for an entry, right? And you might do the same exact thing for exits. So this actually plays into your strategy, makes it over here a little bit more efficient in terms of doing that, which is absolutely insane to me.
Absolutely. So there's a lot going on here, as you can tell. But again, on a lower time frame, you can see how these fib pools line up with these order blocks, giving you what step number 3 was, is confluence. So confluence is telling us, hey, we have 2, 3, or 4, or even more indications of confluence that are all telling us together that this is a very important zone, whether it be support to the downside or resistance. Yeah.
1 second. I want to explain to them really quick why this matters, right? So if you look at this order block that's lining up on top of these fibs, this isn't by chance. This is by design. This is not just, God didn't just drop it down and say, oh, this magically happened today. No, this is because what John was explaining to you earlier, the larger players in this game, the institutional level money, right? Those are the people that trade on these exact principles. That is why this lines up. These areas, these volume areas line up with value areas. They line up with golden pockets. They line up with all these fib poles because that's what they trade on. That's exactly what we're talking about, is what they do, their principles, their strategies, and how they do this. So I just wanted to kind of point out the significance of why does that line up? It's not pure chance. It's by design.
Yeah, it kind of goes back to what I was saying before, how most traders trade is price action trading. And this is based off of leading indicators. So your fib pools, your volume. So this is giving you pivot points in the market structure of where to look at for either entries or exits. And these are all going to tell you, hey, we're at a premium zone up here in the value. We're at a discount zone down here. So these are going to give you really the best leading indicator that you could possibly have to keep your eye on, whether it be to start a trade or to see how a trade that you're currently in is going to play out. And hey, when is it time to get out? So a couple other things I want to touch on that's really cool. Let me see if I can find one here. So these little wicks right here, it creates a box around these wicks. You see this red box around this wick, and then the red box around this wick. These is what Lux Algo indicates to show you liquidity grabs. So this is really cool stuff, and this is kind of like akin to swing failure patterns, or where they're grabbing liquidity to move the price in their desirable direction. So
when that box pops up on an upward wick like that, right, on a top wick,
right,
is that indicating a lot of times that they're trying to push this down?
Yes, but they're also stop loss hunting.
Okay.
So they're using their liquidity as a way to get and enter into the market.
Okay.
Right. Let's see. So that pretty much covers a lot of it from a general point of view. I'm not going to get into too much detail because I want to save that for future videos. We're going to break this down kind of one by one so you can really get to understand and know this indicator, because this indicator is extremely important. It is a little bit more complicated if you're new to supply and demand style trading. But again, I will also want to show this in conjunction or confluence with using your oscillators as confirmation. So, but we'll be getting into that into the near future, into some of the other videos. But one other thing I wanted to point out is some of these box or zones that we drew the other day from our manual TA. Look how well some of these line up. And so this is also another way to gain confluence within the market. And some of them line up on some time frames, and as well as some line up better in others. So it's going to be, whether it be a local or more of a global look into the market structure and the market volume. But as far as the market,
once this pops up, and we can check that really quick. Let's wait until it pops up.
Yeah, it's coming.
And then let's jump to the 4 hour and see what type of confluences we're seeing over there, and how this indicator might read us in this market to say, hey, this might be what's about to happen on a larger time frame, right? Boom, it's already up. Let's see. I mean, look at these. I mean, they're lining up right at the, these two in the bottom are lining up right at the bottom and top of that volume area. And then this red one, GP plus NDPOC, that one's lining up right at the bottom. Massive resistance there. These are very high levels of confluence, because not only is that box, that GP dot NDPOC, right? Not only is that a couple of confluences in and of itself, but then if you look, it's just under equilibrium, and it's right at the bottom of that volume area on the boxes to the left on that chart. That's insane. Dude, this gives you some serious ranges that you could say, okay, well, I don't see this thing pumping past 18.4, 18.5 range, maybe 18.8 tops without some serious volume having to flow into it. And I don't see it dropping below, maybe 15.6 without some serious volume to push it down past that. Now, that's not to say that that can't happen, because especially in terms of sell-offs, man, that volume can come in quick. You get some bad news. See, look at this. This bottom one right here, second one to the bottom, lines directly up with it. The same one, that one right there is lining up right at the bottom of, man. Yeah. This is some pretty crazy stuff here.
Yeah, let me show you a lower time frame as well, just to, again, you can see how these two zones
lines
are lining up really well with it, as well as the fib areas. It's pretty crazy.
Insane. This thing is a hack in the game. Lux Algo, man,
a lot of value.
Came through. They've been working on this thing for a very long time, and they finally rolled it out. Man, this is crazy. This is good stuff right here. And we're not saying go out and use this if you don't know the basics of TA right now. We're not saying that. We're not proponents of throwing people into the fire, right? We want you to wade into the water, okay? Learn it as you go. Then you can get into more technical stuff like this, where you can have 4 or 5 different indicators with confluence on them, and then you can enter your trades with a lot of confidence. It looks like that 15.5, that 15.8 range is pretty solid right now in terms of support levels.
That's the last low, the previous Monday low. I don't doubt that we will come out and have a liquidation hunt over here. And sweep the previous lows, because that's obviously done a whole lot. But today we're a little bit bullish on the lower time frames, as we did have a pump. Currently in a trade. Taking a little profits, still waiting for a little bit more upward movement here. But we are coming into some resistance. So
definitely
pans out. A lot more content on this to come, and we'll dive into each feature of this indicator separately.
Wonderful, man. All right, well, guys, you already know what time it is. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure that you show up for TA Tuesdays. Make sure you show up for TA Thursdays. We're going to be building this, and we're putting it into a channel in my channel, or a playlist inside of my channel in and of itself that's just TA. So if you want to start from the start and go to the finish, you can do that. It's almost like an academy, and it's free to you. We're not saying go out and buy these indicators. We're not saying go out and enter any trades. We're saying grab your sword and start sharpening it, because this is a skill that no one can take away from you. No one can stop you from having this skill or using this skill when you know it. right? And this is a very lethal skill to have, as you can see from some of the trades that we've made, some of the, things that John knows in his noggin, right? So with that being said, guys, again, if you haven't already, make sure you hit the like button for me. Make sure you hit subscribe. Boom! Bang on that notification bell. Comment whatever you want in the section right below this. If you want to get into Lux Algo, like I said, I have an affiliate link for it. Whatever, you can use it if you choose to. You don't have to use it if you don't want to. I don't really, does not matter to me. If you want to use Lux Algo and you want the right link to make sure that you get there, use my link, whatever. We are going to try to get you guys in, if we can, on their lifetime deal package, if it's possible. Don't shoot me if I don't get to it in time. If I can't get them to get it to me in time before they open it up, don't come trying to stab Drew, but just know I'm working in the background trying to make that happen for you. And if I had, 500,000 subs, I think I'd had it yesterday, right? But we'll see. And we're in talks with Sean right now. So appreciate it, guys. Thank you for showing up to the video. I will see you in the next video. Make sure you show up to the live streams tomorrow. If you haven't voted and you're a wolfer on whether or not we're going to put money into trading, 100K is just absolutely blowing everything out of the water right now. So go cast your vote if you happen to give an F, and if you care, if your vote matters, right? So we will see you in the next video. Have a good day, everybody. Thank you so much.